is because not 7.
7
Yes.
o'clock, that clock's wrong.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, it is.
Time to start our planning and zoning meeting for May 26, 2026 at 7 o'clock. If you'll all stand, we'll say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yes, I'm glad I came. I wasn't going to.
Commissioner Williams, Commissioner Thomas,
Here,
Commissioner Stanfield,
here.
Commissioner Schmidt,
Here.
Commissioner Jackman. City Attorney Sandow.
Here.
And Building Admin Travis Allen. And Zoning Administrative Assistant Adriana Boyle. Here. And Mr. Miller from Tech here.
okay, has everyone had the opportunity to read the May 12th, 2026 meeting minutes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Is there any changes that need to be made?
I didn't notice any.
I didn't either. I move we approve minutes as written, May
Second,
12th. Sorry.
second that.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the May 12th meeting minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Do we have any ex parte communication or conflicts of interest on the meeting tonight?
No.
So we can start our meeting. Our public hearing has 3 actions tonight. We have conditional use permit for a car dealership at 1606 West Bridge. And it's a Bruce Charrington. Would you like to give us the,
Would you like us to amend other discussion?
We can do that in the administrative report. We'll just do that, talk about it then.
All right. We have an application for a conditional use permit by Bruce Charrington. This location is at 1606 West Bridge in Blackfoot, Idaho. It is a conditional use permit for automobile sales and service in a light industrial. The request for the sales and service in light industrial follows all criteria for a conditional use permit. The location and size of property is compatible with the conditions required for automobile sales and service. The nature of this CUP for automobile sales and service will have a minimal impact on the environment, nuisances, and follows the comprehensive plan. Existing facilities are adequate for proposed use. This is a commercial building and is not on a historical property. Wastewater superintendent has commented that the sewer availability fees are already paid. Snow removal must remain on site and pre-treatment inspection of site to be completed prior to opening, depending on the findings of the inspection. Additional pre-treatment infrastructure may be required. Water superintendent has commented that it has existing water services. Street and sanitation says there's little to no impact on city street flow. Street traffic flow. Sanitation department, the sanitation department has capacity to supply sanitation services to the property. Parks and Recs has no issues for the project. And building official, fire marshal, any changes to building need review before changes are made. Fire inspection will be required. Staff recommendation is that the conditional use application should be granted with the following conditions. Wastewater treatment plant requires pre-treatment inspection of the site to be completed prior to opening. Depending on the findings of the inspection, additional pre-treatment infrastructure may be required. Snow removal must remain on site. Any changes to the building need review before changes are made. Fire inspection will be required. Any questions?
What are you referring to when you say pre-treatment?
Pre-treatment would be, for example, if they had a floor drain in their shop and they were steam cleaning equipment, It would require a sand trap to catch the sands before it goes down the sewer system to protect the system. We do this similarly with beauty salons for like hair catches in their sinks and stuff like that. That's what we would consider pre-treatment.
Okay.
Thank you.
Got it? Okay. You can open the hearing.
So we'll open the public hearing and hear our applicant.
I am, yes. Bruce Charrington, nice to meet you.
Could we get your address, please?
Yeah, I reside at 300 Centennial Street in Blackfoot, Idaho. So I'm obviously in favor of, to save some time, I'll just submit this for the record, but just that I'm obviously for the approval of said permit. And he already kind of covered quite a few of them with minimal impact to the area environment. And there was already heavy equipment being operated there, and a dealership would be less noise and environment impact than what was already existing. And that's all I got.
Is it like used cars or?
Yeah, so it'd be a smaller dealership. We'll probably have anywhere from 30 to 40 cars on hand at any given time. It's going to be pre-owned cars only. I don't have a new car license or plans of bringing a new car brand at this point. And then service might come on later, but right now it'll just be sales, and I'll just be servicing my own vehicles there. Not contracting or doing the public's vehicles, if you will, for service.
Thank you.
Yep.
Anybody in favor? Got any? This,
That's the only one in favor. So I have no one, well, of course, he's in favor, but
anybody else who wants to speak in favor of the car lot? Okay. Come up and give your name and address. It's just all being recorded.
Hi, Garrett Oliverson, actually a resident of Idaho Falls at 151 West, 81st North. Part owner of the property in question. Happy to be here on my anniversary with my sweet wife. No other place we'd rather be. As Bruce alluded to, the property in question, we know what it's currently zoned for. Based upon the intended use, we wouldn't see it having an adverse impact. In fact, we think the use case would be less than heavy industrial, which I believe is what the current zoning allots. Just happy to show my support on Bruce's behalf in this petition. Thank you.
thank you.
Then anybody in favor? Then anybody neutral? Anybody opposed? Close your public hearing.
So I'll close the public hearing because we have no one else to testify. And we'll open the discussion amongst us commissioners.
I don't see an issue.
I don't have any questions.
So that was fast. We don't have any questions. So
Got a motion?
Oh, I move that we approve as written.
I'll second that.
it's been moved and seconded that we approve the CUP for the auto sales and service at 1606 West Bridge. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? So I close the staff hearing and move on to the next. We're kind of done, thank you.
You can stick around too if you want to have more fun on your anniversary.
I mean, you could go get a nice cream cone or something.
All right, next on the agenda is adoption of amended ordinances for establishing traffic levels of service, standards, and traffic impact analysis requirements. Working with the mayor and the street superintendent, we have to adapt, we need to adapt to our city ordinance when we require developers to provide a traffic study. Traffic study will be required for developments in MDR 1 or greater, where 100 units or 7 acres or greater is applied. Definitions and required standards were added, and the adoption of the ordinance makes requiring traffic study legally defendable in a judicial review. Any questions?
I was thinking we'd lowered that from 100 units.
We did have other items in there that we had to remove, like 1,000 trips per day.
Okay, that's what it was. I just knew that we talked about it and I couldn't
Yeah,
remember, Travis.
that was the only way to prove that in a traffic study was to conduct the traffic study. So these are items that would trigger the requirement of the traffic study. So them items had to be removed during the work discussion and
Okay.
review of the ordinances.
So what did we lower it to?
We didn't.
We didn't.
No,
I was
he
gonna
said
say, I
that there
didn't
was a
remember
couple.
another number. Didn't you say that was state code or something?
Yeah,
You just took it from the state?
we kind of borrowed that from the state, but we got thinking about it that to prove whether you were making 1,000 trips per day or not, you'd have to conduct a traffic
Okay.
study by an engineer. And
Mhm.
this 100 units for the application for 7 acres of development would trigger that and would be able to prove or disprove that and would be able to make a factual decision on future subdivisions.
So item E shouldn't be on here. The development generated 1,000 or more average daily trips is still on the,
Is still on there.
yeah. And D is a development generating 100 or more peak hour trips.
Okay, yeah, them two items should have
So
been,
D and E should be removed?
it should be removed, yes. Thought I removed mine, but I probably just,
Required by the city engineer due to site-specific conditions. We leaving that one still
leave
in
that
there.
one in. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, on item F, it says mitigation shall comply with constitutional. What do you mean by mitigation? It goes on to use that again in Part B.
Mitigation would be to lessen the effects. So if you mitigate something, you lessen the effects of.
Yeah.
So if
So-
mitigations, so if the load studies or standards are not met, then the city could require the developer to do one or more of these things.
Okay,
So if the load, so if the traffic study said it was just too much, then the city could say, all right, we want a signal, we want a turn lane, or both, or whatever. So those would be things the city could require.
So on that, just the phase development, we're still allowing them to do the whole thing, but just in phases, which,
Would require a development agreement that would have these kind of things in it. So, for example, like on Honeybrook, like the bus stop, that had to be done before they could get the certificates of occupancy on certain things. But so in a phase development, they could say, all right, you're gonna put a signal in when you're done with phase 3.
okay, so it could require something, not just, you can only build 50 units at a
And that-
time, and then
Depending on.
the city would still have to put in lights or something like
That'd
that.
be all part of the development agreement.
Okay.
So depending on the certain circumstances of phases or.
And then them development agreements are also approved by city council before they're recorded with the county and signed by the developer and mayor.
Thanks.
So,
So is this a motion?
So you'd open your public hearing first,
I was gonna say,
and then there's nobody here, so then you can close your public hearing.
I don't know, I see two people out there, they could,
Eric,
Oppose
do you
it.
want to tie into this? All right.
your loss. We got all the time.
so we have no one to speak in favor of the hearing for traffic study. We have no one here to testify neutral or anyone in opposition, so I'll open and close the public hearing. I'll open the hearing for the commissioners. We've already kind of asked questions, but do we have any more?
Does this go before city council or not?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you just be a recommendation, one way or another.
I make a motion that we recommend it to the city council.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded to make a recommendation as read for the traffic hearing study. Do I have a,
With the changes.
with the changes?
Yeah, and just so we're clear, so when Misty or whoever does the minutes, it'd be in paragraph C, 1, D, and E need to be removed.
Correct.
Uh-huh. So it's all in favor,
Aye.
Aye.
all opposed? So it's been moved and seconded and passed that we send this to city council for recommendation. Now we'll move on to our adoption of the amended ordinance for fence regulations.
It comes time for the city to adopt code that will remove the fencing permit and require the property owner to follow the regulations. Changes are made to avoid the city involved in civil suits over property disputes. Changes include that fences must be built entirely on the property of the owner, and a building permit is required for fences over 7 feet tall, aligned with the 2016 building codes. The burden of proving where the property line is located is placed on the person with the complaint. Improved language is added for materials. Any questions?
I'm curious about enforcement.
Enforcement will be more of after the fact than
Mhm.
preempt.
Yeah.
But this is a request of the mayor to rewrite this ordinance this way. It removes some man hours and some approvals required currently. And we still have the ordinance that we would have to enforce later, but we wouldn't require a permit beforehand or the fee of the permit.
But the permit does not determine where the boundary of the property is.
No, and if the neighbors have a dispute, then they would have to prove where that property line is.
And move the fence.
And then go through their own civil action or actions in order to dispute that.
So is that how it would work if the people went to put the fence up and the neighbor didn't complain or come in and talk to somebody about it? So they got their fence up, but then they decided they didn't think it was right on the property line or something, then could they still have to remove the fence
If they're wrong.
if they're wrong?
Yeah, which, and that's true now anyway. This just clarifies the language a little bit. So it's always been the person putting the fences, the one putting the fence in, it's their responsibility to make sure the fence is in the right spot. And so if there becomes a problem, it's their burden to show they're either entirely around their property or at least the boundary. But often if it's in the wrong spot, it's on the neighbor's property, yeah, then it's their fault that it got put in the wrong spot. And so that doesn't really change. This is just more clarifying language.
So who has to pay for that if it's on the,
Whoever put the fence in. So I mean, if you're.
but you have to fight it if they put it on your property.
Then you
you
would
have to
file a
fight it.
complaint and say, hey, move this fence. And unfortunately, that happens quite often.
I was just curious.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking you were
Yeah.
saying, so.
So the complaining neighbor would, hey, now wait a minute, you're on my property. If they, win and the other guy put it in the wrong spot, then the other, the installer is the one responsible to move it because they were put in the wrong spot. So it's their fault.
And we still encourage shared fence agreements mostly for the city's concern that they agree where the property line is and that it can be built right straddling the property line and not completely inside one person's property line. Other people can put other items in a shared fence agreement, such as who pays for what, color, style, but it's good neighbors communicating that way as well. We're not trying to cut that out. We'll still encourage that in this ordinance.
Okay, now I'm confused. The new ordinance says you have to build it on your own property.
Yes.
Now you're saying we encourage shared fence.
Yep.
Well, because back to, we're talking inches, right? So it
When
either
you're
has
in
to
the
be-
city, inches count.
Right, but so you have to put it entirely on your property without an agreement, right? 'Cause you have everything to do, you have every right to do anything you want with your property.
Correct?
Now, if you want it right on the boundary, so you're taking 3 inches from one side and 3 inches from the other, you need a shared fence agreement because now both neighbors are agreeing that that fence is.
And then are the costs split?
Depends on the agreement.
Depends on the agreement.
I did not. When I put mine up, we had the agreement that it would go on there, and I paid the majority because I wanted the fence, and
Yeah.
he was happy to get it, but
And so that just kind of
it's
depends.
just conversation.
Okay,
So, but anyway, so it has to be on your property or have the agreement to be split.
I get it.
So once again, I'll open and close the public hearing. We had no one for, no one neutral,
That's the board.
and no one against. So I open and close it. Do I have a motion?
No, I still disagree with the barbed wire fence height of 84 inches. You have a 6-foot standard chain link fence. You're asking for 12 inches above that before you put your first barb,
Mhm.
first set safety. I can crawl through that and I'm a big guy. Still wrong. I don't care what the building inspector says or whoever, that's still wrong. That's not the way the fence is built. So you're asking someone to put in a non-standard 7-foot tall chain link fence prior to putting a barbed wire on there. It's not right, Travis. And I'm going to stand by that one.
Well, and so you would have every option to make a motion to say with that modification, that's your recommendation to city council.
Okay.
I mean, just like we did before, to take, D and E out, you could say, look, you think that this should be at 72 inches, standard fencing.
It is standard fencing, so. I mean, I've only
I mean,
put
that's
in,
entirely an appropriate recommendation. That's up to you.
Yeah.
I don't know how Joanne or, how do you feel, but.
I've only put in about 6,000 feet of it, so I don't know, but
So I'll open
discussion,
the
sorry.
discussion for the commissioners, and we have a
So there,
suggestion.
yeah. So back down here on barbed wire fence, B1A, highlighted yellow, 84 inches. We'd recommended earlier that it went back to down to 72 inches. Our building official said, no, it needs to be at 84, but a standard 6-foot chain link fence is it's 4, 5, and 6. You can get 7 foot, but that's not standard in the industry. So you're going at hold 12 inches more between the top of that bar or chain link before you can put your first barb in. And usually within that foot, there's 3 strands of barb. That's what usually gets you up to about that 72 inch or that 84 inches. So I guess,
Have you ever had a permit requested for barbed wire on top of
Yes,
a tall fence?
yes.
I have it all around our property. It's really common. A security in commercial, on a residential, and this is for commercial. This one is. I believe. Well, even if it's not.
I don't know that it says.
No, it
Doesn't
doesn't
say.
say. You're right.
It says commercial barbed wire may be permitted in commercial and industrial zone.
But I mean, I guess technically if you wanted to say it, you're probably 70, 78 inches up before your first strand of barb on a private commercial fence.
Okay, so I'll, wow, I don't even know where we're at now because we have a suggestion.
So
So it's just part of your discussion.
yeah,
You don't have a motion yet, so.
I would have to make a motion
Okay,
that we change item B1A from 84 inches to 72 inches above grade for the chain, or for,
You've got it on the back side here too, and here.
height restrictions. Interior lots.
Down here too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you're just changing B1A.
But it's been modified in E1.
Well, but E1 is.
Yeah, it's a
fences
different-
Up to 84 inches may be built on a sideline. Has nothing to do with
Yeah,
the barbed wire.
doesn't have anything to do with the barb.
So that 84 is fine, and I think in 2B is fine, because that's just talking about the height along the property lines. But Jim's point is, when you start talking about the barbed wire, it has to be a minimum of 84 inches above grade, whereas your fence is standard is 6 foot. So I think you're only changing, Jim's suggestion is only to change B1A.
Correct.
Yeah,
And that's still in
Like-
consideration of E2B.
Yeah, because that's just saying that you can have up to 84 inches, and so you have to have a minimum of.
Yeah.
Yeah, so B, 2B would be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with height of the fence. It's just,
The minimum for the barbed wire, yeah.
yeah,
Which that makes, I get it.
Okay.
So do I have a motion to
modify
modify?
B1A to
Yes.
72 inches.
go for it.
I move that we modify B1A to 72 inches and recommend to the city council to approve this with that modification.
Do I have a second?
Second,
I have a- Whatever I have, I don't know. I have a motion to approve with the exception, or no, with the modification
Correction.
to the city council.
We're all in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
aye.
All opposed? So it's been moved and seconded to send to city council with the modification. Do we have anything else?
We'd like to amend to the agenda, request to move the P and Z hearing that would normally be scheduled for June 23rd and request that it be moved to June 16th.
Why?
We have an
Just curious.
applicant that it'd be more convenient for that date and it's more convenient for scheduling of time off for city employees.
Travis is going on vacation. I'm gonna say no. No, I don't care.
Now that you have all the facts.
Exactly. I want to know all the juicy before I say no. I don't have a problem with that.
I don't need,
And I guess it's just us three. We don't
Yeah.
care what the others think.
Makes it go easier.
So do we have to vote on that?
Well, I think it's just an administrative report. I don't think you have to go for a motion. The notices will be to that date. That's what matters.
So
All
do we
right.
have any city happenings that we need?
Yes, we do. City happenings, currently well 14 is under 90% drawing and review for approval, going to 100%. As soon as we approve the 100% drawings, it'll go out for bid.
Who's
Sure.
drawing that?
GUB, I think. I can't remember for sure. But they're gonna draw it and it'll go out for bid around 1st of June. Probably expecting construction around 1st of September, August, around there. And I know you love to tell us that
I'm not
it's
telling you anything.
9 months out, but this is what I have to report.
That's fine.
The water shop is under contract with a company to start plans to make the official drawings of the water shop. As you remember, we currently adopted the annexation and rezoning to make that possible and to help along that process as well. As you can see, I-15 They had an open house recently. This is their leftover board, so I stole them. This is what your exit 89 is going to look like after review. Right now, they're just in the open house stage. They're not quite the planning stage, but you can see that they're going to change the on and off ramp right here and create another overpass on exit 89 Sage Creek. This is also the concept for the overpass here at exit 93 within city limits. You can see it will increase vertical clearance over US 26, so widen I-15 to 3 lanes in each direction. Additional left turn lane on the northbound off ramp. Additional left turn lane dedicated to the right turn lane on the southbound off ramp, and lengthened interchange ramps as well. So this is a good concept. If you missed the open house, or if you want to know an update on them plans. This is kind of a concept, what they'll look like. Have no fear. They have to remove the pine trees along them on ramps to move them, but they are going to repurpose them pine trees. They're not just going to tear them out. They're going to put them along the Portneuf River for habitat restoration around McCammon. So then trees will go to good use. They'll transplant them or replant them there, or they'll probably go in the river to slow it down for more fish habitat.
What kind of survival rate do you anticipate on those trees? Because they are.
We haven't been given that. We just know that they have to be moved either way. They will replant more trees similar after the construction is complete.
The way that reads, they're just going to take them and then put them in the river to create a habitat. So they're not expecting them to live at all.
Yeah.
They're just using them for fish habitat.
Fish habitat for fish to hide.
From that, I mean, large trees and their roots will be placed in the river.
Mhm.
So
Oh, I didn't know that.
Not either.
Interesting.
it's actually pretty common.
Really?
They've done this similarly on the Portneuf River further up higher, closer to Lava Hot Springs, where you turn off to go to the golf course there. We did that part of the river to slow it down, create more fish habitat there as well.
Couldn't they use them here?
This is a project that they've chosen to put them forward.
Our
to.
trees and didn't take them
Well,
somewhere.
they're in the state
they
right
can't-
of way, not our right of way.
They can't dig down deep enough to get the roots without killing the tree. They're too big to move.
This is the proposed repurpose until they can replant after the project's over.
Yeah.
So, but at least it's going, they're not gonna go to some landfill or they're going to some good use. This last chart is the proposed detours during the construction. We'll have them notices go out when, this is 3 years down the road, but this is the proposed detours.
Short duration nighttime.
Well, it's not infinite duration, at least.
Oh no, I just was reading that.
Then other happenings in the city, the village is gonna have a grand opening and ribbon cutting this Friday at 12 o'clock. If you would like to go, they're supposed to be open to the public, light refreshments provided, and tours of the new facility. The mission of the facility is to improve care for foster and adopted children and their families in the state of Idaho. Also have the Idaho Potato Museum presents Bud Bazaar, May 29th from 4 to 8. Free admission from 4 to 8 to the museum, and potatoes will be served starting at 5 o'clock while supplies last. Celebrate Blackfoot will be June 26th and 27th. We have lots of activities planned, like a kid zone, RC car races, barbecue competition. They'll have a burnout competition at Tad Jenkins and a car show at Jensen's Grove. Supposedly they're going to have a cornhole tournament, kid zone, business fair, and Pilates and yoga class. I know, Jim, we're looking forward to that.
I teach it.
All right. And Greater Blackfoot Chamber of Commerce has their golf tournament August 5th. They still have the title spots are open if you'd like to sponsor that, or contact the chamber in order to participate in the golf tournament. That's all I have, unless you have any more questions for me.
Do I have a motion to close our meeting?
I motion that we adjourn the meeting.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Ms. Diaz.